It's time for overcoming hurdles. Some hurdles are so hard that it makes a person question if they can actually make it, and we have all been there. But my next guest is celebrating people who have overcome those hurdles at her upcoming You Can Live Again Awards Gala. Kertrina Dauway is the CEO and joins me along with Cindy Vann, one of the award recipients this year. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
So glad to have you guys here. Kertrina, I'm coming to you because we have to talk about what inspired you to create the You Can Live Again symposium and the awards, and why this message was so important to you, why you wanted to create a whole event out of it.
Well, I wanted to empower people to believe in themselves. So many go through all kinds of trials, despair, grieving, hurt, and I wanted to empower them to live again.
Yes.
And there is a message to this in so many different layers, you know, from people dealing with depression, you know, to people losing jobs, to people being sick, and you know, even people in sports, and they're trying to figure out what life will be like outside of what they've just been through.
Yes.
And so this is to inspire them that just because they went through this doesn't mean that the story is over.
From what I heard you say, you know, we spend the most time with ourselves out of anybody else in the world, and we struggle with identity the most, you know, especially because we evolve over time and we change ourselves, and we have to get used to the new person that we're becoming. And so, Cindy, I want to come to you because you're actually receiving an award this year, which tells us you are, in fact, an overcomer. And so I would love if you could take us a little bit into your story and what you had to overcome. Can you share with us, as well as your book?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. This is very humbling, and I'm excited to be here. I've been an overcomer since the day I was born. When I came into this world, I was a blue baby, and I was 1.5 pounds, and I was a survivor. God had his hand on me from the very beginning. And then when I was 3 years old, my mother passed away, and I had 3 siblings, and we were put in an orphanage, because my dad decided that he couldn't take care of us.
Wow.
So I was adopted by my biological father's oldest brother, which was a very strict Catholic Marine. And, you know, growing up, I was kind of like, why is he so strict? Why can't I do? I mean, I went to my prom with my cousin because I wasn't.
Wow.
Yes, I wasn't allowed to
he
date.
He was not playing.
No. And when I graduated high school, I wanted to go to college. And he said, no, you're going to go work in the town bank. So I got a job at the bank, and he knew the people in there. And I was there 10 years, and it was a bank that was very unscrupulous, did a lot of corrupt things. And I took the fall. You know, I come from Jersey, so it was mafia type of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
so many different hurdles is what I'm hearing throughout your life, and not small ones either. My goodness. Can you tell me, do you write about this in your book?
Yes.
Tell me more about what made you want to put pen to paper and get this out there to the world.
Well, my husband passed away in 2014, and I was devastated. We had a wonderful marriage, even though the beginning of it was very hard because of the PTSD from Vietnam. But you know, I fasted because I was devastated. I didn't know what God wanted me to do with my life. And he literally told me, he says, write a book. And we were told, my husband and I, years ago to write a book when we had given our testimonies in church. But we had 3 young children, we had a business, and there was no time for that.
It wasn't the right time, yes.
Yeah.
But now it is.
Yes.
Which is so exciting. And honestly, even listening to you right now, I think sometimes we get caught up in our own issues and our own problems, and it's hard to see beyond them, right? And so it's nice to hear that other people, and I'm sorry that I'm saying it in this way, but it's nice to hear that you're not alone, you know, and that everybody has their stuff, and we don't necessarily know what that looks like. And so I'm glad that you put pen to paper, and I'm glad you turned your testimony into a purpose for others, because sometimes we all need a shoulder to lean on. And this sounds like it's bringing together, I mean, survivors, entrepreneurs, business owners. I mean, everyone goes through their own trials and tribulations.
And they're creating a movie on it. An Academy Award-winning producer is actually creating a movie.
That's incredible. Okay, tell me, because there's going to be so many other people in the room at the You Can Live Again Awards. Tell me who, what, when, where, why, and how we can be there. Oh, and I'm emceeing, so I'll be there, you guys.
Yes. Yes. Well, Aaron Hunt will be here, of course. And then, of course, we have the amazing Leanne Locken of
Yes.
Real Housewives of Dallas. And then we have our incredible award recipients. We're keeping it very intimate,
Very good.
but very celebratory because we want them to feel appreciated. And yes, a lot of these are leaders, but a lot of them also get a little caught up in others where they forget, you know, they plateau. And so this just continues to help them evolve.
Exactly, and we're all evolving.
Yes.
Thank you both for being here this
Thank you
morning,
so
and thank
much.
you for being so vulnerable and sharing your story. We really appreciate it, and you can hear so many more stories at the You Can Live Again Awards. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.